Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Enrico Pallotti, and today we're going to talk about something that has made me very angry and very upset about the negligence of the fact that we're still talking about it, and that it's still something that exists, and that is something that I'm completely over with. I'm done. Honestly, I don't know how to say it, be kinder about it, I don't know how to be kinder. I'm just done. This has gone way too far. The fact that we don't even know how is it gonna end, because this just keeps happening and happening and happening, and it seems like it will never end. And at the point that I'm simply just tired of it. It is important to understand in Henry Nowak's video and Henry Nowak's controversy, the stabbing the British boy Henry Nowak, 18 years old. He was stabbed, a South Hampshire University student, killed by Digwa, a sick man who accused him of racial violence, which was later proven false. It is honestly disturbing to think about, and I'm just completely tired of it. I've done my research. I've listened to other people talking about the case, and I've formed my own opinion about it, because that's what the point of this YouTube channel is going to be about. It's about my opinions, not just as another dude who's unemployed, but as also as an immigrant who is seeing these immigrants who are attacking people in the public, people born in the country that they're immigrants from, and simply walking free and not having the same consequences. This has to stop. It's giving a bad reputation to my community. It's giving a bad reputation to every single immigration community, because it simply will. They're walking carelessly, they're not having any consequences, and they still believe that they're right because they're immigrants and because it's racial, it is ethnicity. Come on. Wasn't the woke purpose to end racism? And yet here we are, arguing that a man defended himself from a racist attack, and now because due to the woke agenda, the officers apparently sided with him. Come on, he was begging, he was crying, saying that he was stabbed and that he couldn't breathe. Doesn't that sound familiar? He said 9 times that he couldn't breathe, and the officers were sarcastic about it. Completely unprofessional, completely disturbing. Anyways, in this video we're going to be reacting to a few TikToks about it, a couple of news channels about it, and we're going to start with a popular one, 3,000 likes in TikTok, where it kind of gives the whole idea of the case, and it's going to be the primary topic I'm going to talk about. So let's react to it. So as we can see this video, Henry Nowak, pardon me, was 18 years old. He was stabbed by a kippah, a Sikh ceremonial blade, which the guy who stabbed him, whose name is Victim Digwa. I researched his name because I really just don't know how to pronounce it. Digwa was carrying this blade. He was legally allowed to carry the blade because it's a religious symbol, apparently. It's still a deadly weapon. I don't, just spoiler alert, I know that in Britain they're like completely strict about weapons. You cannot own a firearm over there. is still carrying a deadly weapon, by all means, that is still a deadly weapon. And we're still allowing him to carry because it's a religious symbol. Fine. Then I should create my own religion where I am allowed to walk naked with 2 sawback shotguns unlicensed on me, and I can walk anywhere I want naked with 2 sawback shotguns, and nobody can stop me because that's my religion and cultural symbol. And if you disagree, you're a bigot. That's right. This is completely unacceptable in multiple ways. If you're an immigrant, you should understand, you should have dignity to understand that this is not your country. You decided to migrate. And although I'm completely fine because I'm an immigrant and I also do that things, you have your culture as well. You should have your culture. However, you're still in somebody else's country. You should be grateful that you will have a better life in that country instead of just simply doing what you're doing and allowing yourself to simply break the law. It makes no sense. If you're an immigrant, you should follow the law much more rigorously than a citizen. That's because you should be grateful. For me, I am grateful. Grateful that I have had the opportunity to live in a better country than mine own. Although I love my culture, I love the language that I speak. English is clearly not my first language, as I have committed a lot of mistakes on this video. I still believe that it is important for us immigrants to understand that is just common sense, guys. Please, if you migrated to a country, you should follow their customs and laws. You're not in your country anymore. You decided to enter in somebody else's country. You cannot make that country your playground. It's not your playground. This is impacting our community. This is impacting people like me because it gives a bad reputation to immigrants, as it rightfully should, because many of these cases are about Henry Nowak are caused by immigrants. Not all of them. Not all of them. There was a very famous case where the immigrant was attacked, but the guy who stabbed her was black. That's where we go to the second topic. Henry Nowak was accused of committing racial violence, accusing that he removed his burqa. That is not true. That is not true. That was proven false. Now, I love history. It's a hobby that I have. I study a lot of history for multiple times. And what is happening right now? I kid you not. Sounds a lot like Jim Crow America. Just the opposite. Now, it's not as worse because it's not as loss. However, we're seeing here in the United Kingdom that the officers clearly disregarded Henry Nowak, who was lying on the floor saying that he was stabbed and that he couldn't breathe, and clearly sided with the stabber saying that it was a racial attack and it was self-defense. They didn't even investigate. They didn't even call an ambulance to the guy. They actually, we're going to watch the body cam videos. The officers were sarcastic. I'm looking up for the body cam video because it is very important, and that's what really made me out very angry.
Keep you on your side, mate. pupils aren't even reacting.
That was the disturbing body cam footage of 18-year-old Henry Nowak, handcuffed and dying on a Southampton street while the officers who were meant to help him did nothing. What happens when the police seem more scared of being called racist than they are of watching someone die? England just gave us the answer. In December last year, Henry, a university student, was walking home from a night out. A man named Vikram Digwa stabbed him 5 times with a ceremonial Sikh dagger, including a fatal wound to the chest. Henry tried to escape by climbing a fence, leaving a trail of blood.
He's jumped over these fences and stuff like that.
Then Digwa filmed him bleeding out and taunted him. When police arrived, Digwa's brother told the dispatcher they'd been attacked racially.
Sorry, we just got attacked racially by some white person.
Officers believed it. So they handcuffed Henry, the dying boy, and sarcastically dismissed him when he told them he'd been stabbed.
Alright, mate, been stabbed. You've been stabbed? Whereabouts? Don't think you have, mate.
His last words were, "I can't breathe." They only removed the handcuffs and started CPR after he lost consciousness, and by then, he was gone. Sound familiar? As Konstantin Kisin wrote in the Free Press this week, Henry died saying the exact same words George Floyd did in Minneapolis in 2020. Except this time, the establishment that stenciled those words on murals and took a knee in the streets has met them with total silence. And this isn't a coincidence. Hampshire police spent nearly £1 million on race and equality training that named George Floyd as a turning point and instructed officers to be allies. That training did exactly what it was designed to do. Critics are already calling it two-tier policing that puts lives at risk. The judge was unequivocal. Henry said nothing racist. Digwa was the only person who ever claimed otherwise. He got a life sentence serving a minimum of 21 years. Hampshire Police, a force that publicly commits to being anti-racist in all it does, has issued an apology, and the watchdog has opened an investigation. Henry Nowak said he couldn't breathe, and the people meant to protect him handcuffed him instead. He deserved better than to die humiliated on the road.
That is insane. I mean, anti-racist training, you have to be allies. That is completely outrageous in multiple forms. It is ridiculous. Ridiculous. You have to be allies? Are you kidding me? Is this what we want? Is this what the 21st century was gonna be about? Allies? Are you kidding me? This is insane. This is completely insane. This is beyond any reasoning. This is disgusting. This is completely disgusting. What are we doing? Just what are we doing, guys? How can we allow this to happen? How can we make ourselves allow this to happen? How can we just let it happen? As an immigrant myself, I find this completely disgusting and completely against all my beliefs and values that I have as an immigrant in America. As an immigrant, my values are clearly that I should be grateful. Grateful for this country has given me a home, a better life, a good school, a good opportunity, a country of opportunities. Just recently, Elon Musk became the first trillionaire, an immigrant. Do you think he was going to be able to do that in South Africa? I doubt it. I really doubt it. America is the country of opportunities. And that's what we're forgetting. Although this didn't happen in America, it's still a first world country in everything that I know. United Kingdom is a rich country. They are very rich, in fact. This should not happen. Anti-racist training? I mean, of course. However, he was stabbed. He said he couldn't breathe. Now there are no riots. There are protests, which we're going to take a look at them later. But like, I remember 2020 very well. The riots, because of George Floyd. People breaking, looting, putting fire on cars and buildings. You're not seeing this here. What if the guy was black and the guy who stabbed him was white? Do you think that's what's gonna happen? I doubt it. I doubt it. It was gonna be the same consequence. It was gonna become something worldwide. And the fact that we're just listening to this now, because I don't remember. Me personally, I don't remember Henry Nowak before last week. Never heard of it. probably has been in a few news, probably Sky News, I believe. But I personally have not heard of it. And that by itself is concerning. Very concerning. Because the disbelief, the horrors that we are looking at right now, it's insane. Just insane. Anyways, of course, the British people, especially from South Hampshire, it's not having it. They're not having it. Of course, people are just mad about it. Again, I was in Spain when I saw the news for the first time. Last week I was in Spain. I saw the news, Sky News. Yeah, the British people are not having it. It's become very big controversy, in fact, in that country. For obvious reasons, right? This is insane. What we've looked so far is just genuinely insane. Especially because Digwa had been like caught stealing 1,000 knives or something, like knives. I don't think it's 1,000, but like a lot of knives. And he probably have been committed a few felonies. I don't know that it's true or not. But if it is, I would not be surprised. So yeah, the British people are fighting back. Yeah. I don't know how new is that. Where do I find the date that this was posted? Here? I suck, but the protest that I've seen was not as intense as that. I believe that is still escalating. Yeah, it's insane. The Prime Minister's called for calm protests following Henry Nowak's murder, with Shabana Mohammed, Secretary of State of the Home Department, appealing the Nowak family had a powerful call to not let Henry's death be used to create further division, hatred, or tension. There can be no justification for hijacking this tragedy to stir up violence and disorder. Henry Nowak's father, Mark, speaking after victim Digwa was jailed on Monday, said, "We don't want his death to be used to create further division, hatred, or tension." The 18-year-old was murdered by Digwa, who lied to police, accusing Nowak of racial abuse. Nowak was faintly stabbed by Digwa. Police body cam footage shows police officers handcuffing Nowak and asking, "You've been stabbed. Whereabouts?" Before adding, "Don't think you have, mate." Well, I can understand why the clashes are getting worse, because reading this is just unbelievable and completely outrageous by itself. I am sorry, but why? I kind of understand why the father would say that. You know, the British government's quite famous for arresting people who don't agree with them. And like, he doesn't really want tensions, right? The family is grieving. It must be very hard for the family. Rest in peace, and I hope the family's alright. For Henry, rest in peace, Henry Nowak. But I understand, but the family just doesn't. They're just probably grieving, right? The father is just devastated. He doesn't want more stuff. He doesn't want more fights. You know, they just want to be left alone. I understand. But you have been stabbed. Whereabouts? Don't think you have, mate. That's the police officers. That you can't. Did you ever thought about a stabbed guy hearing that from a police officer? Imagine Harry Nowak hearing that. I'd be shocked. I mean, it must have been very traumatic last moments for the kid. just insane. And it's no looting, it's no rioting. Well, certainly there was being a fight with the police. We've seen like a guy throwing a rock or something at the police officers, but nothing compared to George Floyd. I really think that wouldn't be the case if it was a black guy who's being stabbed to death by a white guy. Anyways, before I finish this video, I'm a very, very new YouTuber. I have no experience on editing. This is my first video. Henry Nowak's case is really what triggered me up. I've been thinking of making a YouTube channel like this for quite a while. However, I really just didn't really want to do it. But now, with this case, I believe that it's my duty to talk about and give my viewpoints as an immigrant to the woke culture. And Henry Nowak is just the first video, okay? We're going to be reacting to gender. We're going to be reacting to a lot of things. I'm going to be a commentary YouTuber. And that's what I want, and that's what I really always wanted. And if you're watching this video, thank you so much. Please make sure to like and subscribe. As a very young YouTuber, I need your support as much as ever. I really want, if you have any, if you want to help me, please, on the comment section, feedbacks are amazing. I'll be looking for them. I'll be reading them. Feedbacks are just amazing. Again, guys, if you really want to help me, and if you like my content, please share. If you know an immigrant guy who agrees with me, who agrees with my viewpoints as an immigrant, if you have any immigrant friends, if you're an immigrant yourself, share with people. Anything will help, really. And thank you very much, guys. See you next video. Goodbye.